In this video, I'm going to be making crispy pretzel crusted chicken with a cheddar mustard sauce. So for this recipe, you're going to need, for just the chicken, you're going to need 2 chicken breasts. You need boneless and skinless chicken breasts. You need a 1.5 ounce bag of pretzels. So I bought a whole bag of Great Value mini pretzel twists, and then I put them in the food processor, and I used the food processor, and I crushed them up. So this I weighed on, made sure I had 5 ounces exactly. This is 5 ounces. You need half a teaspoon of paprika, and you need salt and pepper to taste. You need 2 eggs, and you're gonna put a little splash of water in here, and I just took my fork and I mixed it up. And then you're gonna need some vegetable oil, and we're gonna use an electric skillet, so we have some vegetable oil in an electric skillet. And then for the cheddar mustard sauce, you're gonna need 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of flour, which I have over here, 2 cups of milk, 2 cups, they're using sharp cheddar, but I already had mild cheddar in the refrigerator. It's the bag, and this is 2 cups, it's never been opened. So I'm gonna use mild cheddar for mine, just to use what we have. You need 2 tablespoons of whole grain mustard. We're using the Engelhofer stone ground mustard, and you need 2 tablespoons of that. You need another half teaspoon of paprika, a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne, and you need either a 1/4 cup of freshly parsley, or this is 1 tablespoon of
flakes.
Yeah, parsley flakes. And we're using that because, again, I already had this bought, so I didn't have to buy something else at the store. You also need a 1/4 of a small red onion, finely chopped. So just need a little bit of onion. We're just going to be using that, honestly, for garnish. So the first thing you want to do is move all your stuff out of the way. We're going to open up our chicken, and then I'm going to cut the chicken in half. And then I'm going to pound it, and I don't have a mallet. When Ashley lived here, we had a mallet, and then I let her take the mallet with her.
She stole it
when she left, and so we no longer have a mallet, and so we're going to use Kevin's mallet. So you want to cut these. Now, do we want these in separate pieces or completely cut apart?
Yeah, cut apart.
I mean,
you actually end up making 4.
Okay. I didn't know if we wanted it left together and just opened up wide like this, or apart.
No,
so
they said make 4 pieces. So.
Okay. Well, this is supposed to feed 4, but it's just me and Kevin. And, you know, if you were feeding your family, you would probably put something else with this, macaroni and cheese or mashed potatoes or something like that. A salad, yes, bread. But since it's just us, this is the meal. This is all we need to fill us up, because we will eat all of this. So now we're going to take I have a piece of parchment paper, and I'm going to wash my hands first, and then I'll cover it with parchment paper, and then we'll pound it down. Take our paprika, and we're going to put it in our pretzels, and then it says salt and pepper to taste, so I'm just literally going to put some salt and pepper in here. And I haven't added too much before, so I'm not worried that I'm going to add too much now. And I'm just taking my fork, and I'm sorry if you hear the yard is being mowed next door, so that is that noise in the background. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of chicken. We're going to put it in our egg, and we're going to get the top and the bottom, and then we're going to dip it into our pretzels, and then we're going to get it top and bottom. And usually I try to use one hand. Now, I have seen some people use gloves. I'm not worried about using a glove because it's Kevin and I, and my hands are clean. So I'm not worried. It doesn't, I guess it grosses some people out to use their hands to touch chicken. It does not gross me out. It does not bother me. So I'm going to do this, and I've got a clean plate. I'm going to lay this on just until we're ready with all of these. But I'm going to do this with the next 3, and then we'll move on to the next step. Kevin has had our electric skillet on. What temperature do you have it on?
375.
375. So I'm just gonna lay these in here, and you put enough, he put enough oil in the bottom just to coat the bottom.
Yeah, you don't want it to cover them, but you want to just go like halfway up them.
Okay. The next one's a long one, so I'm gonna put it across the bottom. And do we want to cover it with the lid or just leave it
We'll probably put the lid on it.
Okay.
But these only go for probably like 5 minutes per side.
So now we're going to make our cheese sauce. So we're going to melt our butter. We just have a regular saucepan, and we're going to melt our butter, and then we're going to whisk in the flour into the butter once it melts. So now you want to whisk in your milk, and you want to cook this until it's slightly thickened. It says 3 to 5 minutes. It's been 4 minutes, and you want to stir in your cheese and your mustard and your paprika and cayenne. And then you want to season it with salt and pepper. Okay, now this is good. This is ready to go. So now we're gonna take our chicken off, and we'll be right back. So we put our chicken, we have a plate with a piece of paper towel, and that way it'll sop up some of that oil. So I'm gonna give us each a piece of the chicken. And then I'm going to add some of our cheese sauce to the top. Like this. And after we try it, we'll see if we want more, but I want to try it first. And then, believe it or not, the onion and the parsley are just for looks. So
Might add a little flavor.
Yeah, yes, no, I agree. But I'm saying you didn't cook them. You didn't do anything with them.
No, you didn't do anything.
That's what I meant. You didn't do anything with them. So I'm just gonna add a little parsley right here, and that's it. I'm excited to try this.
It looks like something in a magazine.
It looks pretty.
Yeah,
it actually,
she did a good job.
Thank you. I'm going to try it without the sauce garnish.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Just because I do have a whole section. I didn't know how much to use. And I figure, you know, if I like it a lot, then once the video's over, then I'll add more to it for sure. Because we have plenty.
Just to let you know, I did a thermometer on each piece of chicken. Make sure it's cooked. It's a different texture. It's more chunky than just the flour in it.
Honestly, I would, if I didn't know that we bought chicken, I would think that was a pork chop. Because it has the texture of a pork chop.
Yeah, maybe because the pretzels had that little more of a chunky texture. It's really good. It's got good flavor to it.
It has a really nice flavor. I don't necessarily taste pretzel. Yeah. But you do get chunks. And nice chunks. Like, it's not like they didn't turn wet. The pretzels didn't turn wet or anything like that. They're really crunchy, crispy. But I am glad I got the food processor out, because you do want to get those really, really small. So typically, for recipes, I'll just put pretzels in a bag and beat them to death with a
hammer out.
A rolling pin or something.
You really want powder.
Yes, so you need to get the food processor out if you can. Okay, so I'm going to try this sauce. Have you tried it?
Oh yeah, I've eaten a couple bites.
Okay, what do you think of the sauce?
I don't want to tell you.
It's just basically cheese sauce.
That is not the main flavor though. I think the main flavor is the mustard. You get the cheese, but you taste a lot of that mustard, don't you?
That is a sauce for me, isn't it?
It's a little spicy too. Not spicy as in like really hot, but it's got just a touch of kick to it.
I was gonna say I'm not getting any heat to it.
I like it. I'm not really. I mean, I like mustard, but I don't like to eat mustard on all kinds of different stuff. And I like this quite a bit.
I do too.
Even the raw onions aren't really that. They don't. The parsley is just literally for looks. You're not gonna taste that, but I do taste the raw onions when you take a bite with the onion. Right. It just adds that flavor to it.
I'm glad it has the mustard. I'm glad it used the stone ground mustard because I do think it has a lot more flavor. It's a stronger flavor. If you're worried about that cayenne pepper, I'm not getting any heat whatsoever from it. It's such a small amount. It's only 1/4 teaspoon. I mean, it's hardly anything at all. I like it quite a bit.
I do too. I'm telling you, I really like the bites you get with the onion. It adds a lot of flavor with the onion in there. I would almost mix the onions in with the cheese sauce, but I guess it's not smooth, and you wouldn't see it on the top sprinkled.
Right,
so
it's to be pretty. So if you want to be pretty, then you sprinkle it on the top. If you wanted it for flavor for you,
you'd probably cook it in the sauce.
You could just put it in at the last minute, and then you're going to taste it more in every bite.
But I'm telling you, I like the flavor of that onion in there because it adds a lot of flavor. You get a lot of the onion flavor. This is really good. I like that. And I was afraid the sauce too would make the breading kind of mushy. And it probably would if you let it sit there for a while. But you're going to eat this so quick, you're not going to notice.
That onion is super delicious.
It adds a lot of flavor.
It really does. So when I get more, because you know I will, I'll put more sauce and more onion. There's nothing about this that I don't like. No,
you could even do the chicken by itself if you didn't want to do the sauce.
You could. You might get a stronger cheese flavor if you use the sharp cheddar. It might add richer cheese flavor with sharp rather than, because I just used what we had, you know, and it had been in there and it's like, well, we need to use it. So that's why I used it. But I wouldn't mind making it again with sharp cheddar at all because I do think it would be a stronger cheese flavor. But I got this recipe from platings and pairings. I'm trying to read at the font. Platings and pairings. So what I will do is right below this video, I will put a link to their recipe. So if you're interested, I printed it out. You can print it out just like I did and make it for yourself. But even if you don't want to do the cheese sauce part, then it's worth it to put the pretzels with the chicken because it's really good.
Yeah, and just keep in mind, they say the pretzels and not the pretzels, the parsley and the onions. The parsley literally doesn't.
You don't need the parsley at all. You could literally leave the parsley out of it.
They want you to like fresh parsley and all that stuff. You don't have to do that.
No, I would leave the parsley out. I wouldn't even fool with that.
But the onions for sure.
Yeah, I would add if you like onion, then the onions really add a lot to it. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video and thanks for watching.